You wrote the article, and we talked about it last week when you were on 6 steps to get the Browns back on the road to the playoffs in 2025. And here are all 6 of them: sign or trade for a veteran quarterback and draft a quarterback. Trade, sign, or draft a starting edge rusher. Trade, sign, or draft a top receiver. Draft or sign a defensive tackle. Draft or sign a running back. Sign a starting safety. Um, I would. The thing that the quarterback's obviously number one. I put wide receiver and running back. Get some guys that can make plays with the football.
Yeah, I mean, the offense was historically bad last year, averaged 15.2 yard or points a game. That's not going to win you high school games, let alone the NFL. That was dead last 30 seconds. So you have to be a team that puts points on the board. I can make the case when they started 1-6 and Deshaun Watson played so bad, the defense actually played well enough to win 3 or 4 of those games, holding the opponent to 20 points or less. But the Browns' offense didn't score more than 16 points, and that's going to lose you a lot of games. It ended up spiraling into a 3-14 season, and so yeah, you really didn't see any offense explosiveness except during that period of time with Jameis Winston when they were throwing the ball over the place. Unfortunately, he was throwing it to the other team and cost him some games. But, they were, nobody can say they weren't explosive. They went from like 30th in passing to 13th for a stretch when he was playing. They just got to figure out how to get somebody who can manage the game, can make the plays without turning the ball over. And that's why I feel like it starts and stops with the quarterback, and they have to solve that. And 2 days into free agency, I'm not ready to run up the towel with it, but it isn't too inspiring to see what is going on right now, all the way around in free agency. I really think you're going to see the draft being really one of the biggest areas that they're going to look to because it looks like they're being very um, conservative, making offers, but not going aggressively at the top guys like they were in previous years, free agency.
Uh, how important? We obviously know quarterback is one, 1A, 1B. What is a sneaky need that you think they need to address, they need to get right in order to get back on track?
Well, some of the ones I outlined there, I really think, um, you got to get the defense right. I think that's the quickest path to success. We saw it with the Steelers. At least you're getting to the playoffs with a lockdown defense. And 2 years ago, you had the number one defense in the NFL. I think that if you add assets to it and get yourself back in the top 10 or even top five on defense, you just get some adequate quarterback play you can fill in. I think you got to have like I said, a running game. You got to get a threat. You can't count on Nick Chubb coming back or to being himself. I really think he will be back, maybe as soon as tomorrow. A wide receiver, you need another threat there. Safety, I think you need a starting safety. You're letting Juan Thornhill go. Dalvin Tomlinson, probably at least one of your best defensive tackles. I thought when they let him go, they had somebody, and maybe they still do have lined up like Javon Hargrave that would be maybe an upgrade. So I'm still waiting to see, what's going to happen with this. But yeah, I mean, a lot of that can change quickly. But right now, I think quarterback's most important. But you need more playmakers on offense, whether it be running back, wide receiver, or a big time, pass rusher opposite Miles Garrett now that he's going to be here. And I don't know if you go with Abdul Carter, you have pretty much said you're not going, to go all in to draft a quarterback. Um, and if Cam Ward's the only one you feel is worth drafting number two, then you're kind of in the same situation because right now it seems like all the eggs are in the basket of getting Kirk Cousins. and I don't know if that's going to happen. If that doesn't happen, what are you going to do?